welcome to the Fertility Conversations podcast. The goal of this podcast is to create more awareness about infertility and to provide support to people trying to conceive. Thank you for listening today, and we hope you will be encouraged. And now, here is your host, Ola.
Welcome, everyone. Today I'm joined by Zerie. She is the author of the memoir, I Am Also a Woman. Zerie has a condition known as MRKH. The condition is primarily associated with abnormal development of the female reproductive system. Today, Zerie will be sharing more information about this condition and her journey so far. So welcome, Zerie, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. So we always start off by saying, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Zerie. I call myself unique because I feel that I'm unique. Yes, I was born in Zimbabwe. I grew up in Zimbabwe, and then I came to South Africa. That was around 2005, 2006.
Okay. That's wonderful. Yes. And you're living in South Africa now?
Yes. Now I'm living in South Africa, yes.
All right, perfect. Today we mentioned earlier, I highlighted earlier, we're going to be speaking about the condition as well, MRKH. How did you find out that you had that condition?
I found out after my marriage. The thing is, before that, I got married at the age of 22. Before that, I didn't have my periods and stuff. And then, the family believed that one of the late comers,
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard that before sometimes. Yeah.
Yes. So after my marriage, we couldn't do, the deed with the husband. And then we kept on trying for like 3 months and nothing was happening in the bedroom, And then after 3 months, we decided to inform the auntie, like in the African culture, you have to go through the aunt and, explain everything. So we told her that this was what was happening. She couldn't believe it. She got the shock of her life, She was like, 3 months and nothing happened. I'm like, no, during the first days, I thought it was like, it's like, the virginity thing. Of course. So, we even spoke with the husband. I thought like we're doing it the wrong way,
Right, yeah.
Yes. So when we told the auntie, she then invited me to visit her so that we could visit the gynecologist in her area. And then when we went there, I first went with my auntie because my husband was at work. And then the gynecologist told me that I had a thick hymen. That's why the husband couldn't penetrate. And then we had to go through, I should have a small operation. That's what he said.
Right.
And so we had to inform the husband as well and all that. And then, he went on to explain to me that with this condition that you have, it's like it's 1 in a million women with such a condition. And he was he even told my aunt that, how can you let her get married before she gets her periods?
Oh.
It was,
what does he care? Like, what's his business with that? I don't understand.
Yeah, he was like, if your husband was my younger brother, I wasn't going to let him marry you before you. So, it really was something else. I couldn't believe it. It was really hard to believe. And, with the African culture, they go on to say that you have been bewitched. There's nothing like that.
Course.
Yes, they say there's nothing like that. Someone bewitched you. And so we informed my husband because we had to go for counseling, both of us. And then before he arrived, the gynecologist started telling me that, you know what, this condition of yours, you're not going to have kids. You're not going to be able to have kids.
Wow.
So during those days, he didn't know the name of the condition. He didn't know it was MRKH. He just said he just said, no, it's a condition that's rare. And yeah, that's what he said. And then he told me that you're not going to have kids for the rest of your life. The only option that you have is adoption and all that. So if your husband doesn't agree to this, if he leaves you because of that, just make sure that the next person that, if you decide to get married again, the next person must know that you can't give them kids. You can't have kids.
Wow, how insensitive. I don't understand. What kind of delivery is that?
Yes, I was like, it was so shocking. My mind was like confused and everything. I couldn't believe it, because I even fainted somehow,
Wow,
Yeah, because I couldn't believe what he was telling me.
And he wasn't being nice about it as well. The delivery was really bad. You can't speak to people like that,
Yes, it really was bad, because he just straight up, he told me. Yeah, I even heard him asking my aunt that question, that how can you let her get married? Before she even has like her periods, how could you do that? Because you know very well that without that, then she's not going to have kids. If it was my younger brother, I wasn't going to allow him to get married to her.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was really tough.
Wow.
It really was tough. So when the husband came, he was told everything. And then, he also was shocked. He couldn't believe what was happening. But the thing is, before I got married to him, because we dated for like 2 years, we started dating when I was 20. And then I told myself that I was going to get married at the age of 25. So when we started dating, he was my first boyfriend, and then he became the first husband. So I told him that I can't get married to you now, because I'm waiting for my period,
All right.
Because I believe that before that, without that, I won't be able to have kids. So then he said, no, there are people who have their periods at a later stage and not, so it's fine by me.
Oh, wow.
So now, I told him, now we are here. This is the situation. This is the case. So what are we going to do? He was just so quiet. He didn't say anything. He was shocked. And my aunt and the husband decided to talk to us, and they explained to him that if you feel that you are not okay with it, it's fine. If you feel that you can't go on with this marriage because of not having kids, then still it's your choice. You have to speak to your family. You have to inform your parents that this is the case. And he was supportive. Okay, that was the next day. Actually, that's when he became supportive. Showed that he would support me.
Right after the initial shock.
Yes. And then he was like, kids are a gift from God and all that, so it was okay between the two of us. And then my aunt informed my parents that this is what's happening, and they said, you know what, she's not gonna go through with the operation.
Why were they against that? Why were they against an operation?
They believed that I was bewitched. Right. They said there's nothing like that. So she's not going to go through with the operation. We're going to go the traditional way. So, we started, going the traditional way, going to the traditional healers, going to the prophets, being given this and that, drinking
so many
mixtures
strange things.
Yes, so many strange things. And you could be given, I could be given like the milk mixed with cooking oil, mixed with eggs, all those kind of things. And I was told that I mustn't vomit, because if I vomit, then I won't be able to have kids.
Oh, wow. So much to deal with.
Yes. And then I remember we went to this other prophet. He was like into doing the prophetic thing and the traditional thing at the same time. So he drew my system, my anatomy.
All right.
And he said, you are an adult outside, but you are a child inside. And like, it was so strange, because whatever he drew on the wall, it was like what the gynecologist had said. So I don't know how it worked, but that's what happened. And then he started giving me cane like sticks, the sugar cane.
Oh yeah.
Those it was sticks like sugar cane, but they were soft, right? So I was given different sizes, and I was asked to, insert, into.
Oh no.
Yes, that's what happened. Yeah, and I had to do that.
That must have been so painful. Wow.
Yes, because I think they worked more like dilators,
Right.
It's like I understood that later on, that it was more like basically using the dilators.
Right.
So it was like traditional dilators, if I may call them that.
Okay, there's some kind of treatment like that, right? For a part of the process for MRKH, that they use dilators, right?
Yes. So okay, I was now staying with my sister-in-law, my husband's sister.
Okay.
And then my husband was going to work. He was in another town. And then I was staying with the sister-in-law, just because, I had to go back to that traditional healer every now and then. Yes, almost every day. So to give him the feedback of what was happening. So I used to tuck them in, and then in the morning, and then remove in the evening, tuck another one in, and then after maybe different sizes, and then I would be asked to call my husband, and he comes, and then we have to try and do it. So it was a bit complicated, and what can I say? It was because my parents were there, his parents were there, his sister was there. So every morning they want to hear the news.
Can you imagine? Oh my!
Something happened, Yeah, so it's it went on for some time. I think it was somewhere around 3 months or so. He goes, and then he comes back maybe after a week or two, when I feel that, because I have to test, putting in my fingers and stuff. And then when it feels like, okay, maybe it's opening up, and then and then he comes, and then the next morning I have to tell them if anything happens, until it happened.
Wow. That must have been so stressful.
Yes, when it happened, everyone was relieved. But now they remained that pregnancy thing, Now it's open. We can do it. We can do what every couple does.
Right.
But then I couldn't get pregnant. And I still had to go and drink that stuff and everything. And then 2 years later, 2.5 years later, trouble began, in the paradise. And then there was like, the family, the friends, they started talking,
so
why aren't you guys
influence.
having kids? Yes, and then I remember the other day I met up with a letter from his father. He told him that he was telling him that you must get married to another woman because you can't stay with furniture in your house. Yes, so he literally referred to me as a piece of furniture.
Oh, that must have been so painful for you to find that and read that.
Yes, it was so heartbreaking. I just remember I stormed out of the house. It was in the evening, and I didn't even know where I was going. I was confused. Just the thought of someone just calling you a piece of furniture because of, something that you cannot control,
something that's not your fault,
and something that is not your fault. So yeah, It was really tough. It really
How did you
was.
get through all of that? What was your support during that whole time? What was your support system during that time? Like, everything you've said so far, I can't even imagine what you went through, but did you have any support? I know you mentioned your sister-in-law that you were staying with her, but who were you able to talk to during this whole time?
It was my sister-in-law. She really understood what I was going through because when she got married herself, she didn't have kids for 8 years. And the husband left her because of that. And then she later on got married to someone, and then she had kids. So she really was supportive because she used to tell me that, no, don't worry, God will make a way. You will eventually have kids. Don't lose hope. Yes. But unfortunately, she passed on.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
So I didn't have I had no one to turn to. Yes. I had no one to turn to.
How did this whole, the diagnosis and the whole experience, how did it also impact your family? Because I know that, like you mentioned, in African societies, having issues trying to have a child can be so stressful, and it impacts everyone. So I just wonder, how were your parents also dealing with this?
My parents, they were very supportive. They never lost hope. They still believed that I was bewitched, especially after, using those traditional dilators. So they still had hope that, one day I'll have kids, and they kept on, consulting, and whenever they hear about there is a traditional healer there, a good one, and then there's a prophet there, then they would call me and ask me to go, it was something else,
Yeah, and I think for them, yeah, go ahead.
I just said to
just do it.
To do it. Yes, that's what I used to just go and trying to get help. And then even the churches. I was born a Catholic, but I had to change and just join these other churches because they help. They can help you with this case and all that. Yes, people who are married for 10 years without kids, they eventually have kids, so your time will come, so just go there as well. That's what I used to do. And then we got to a point whereby after that later, right, my husband ran after me, and then he apologized, and then he said, no, don't mind him. We know God is gonna give us kids, in due course. So we were good with the husband. But then later on, the pressure was too much on him. And, I at times, like, I blamed myself for what was happening because he started being promiscuous, and now he was doing everything like in my eyes, I could see, I could hear. Yes, I could see it and all that. And then, it became too much on me. I couldn't handle it because now he got to a point where he didn't even eat my food, the food I prepared for him in the house. And it really was something else. I just got so depressed because I didn't know whom to turn to. That auntie had passed on. And when I went to tell his parents, the mother used to tell me that, the problem in your house, that's what's driving him to that, to being promiscuous. And that was really tough. And even if I went to the church elders, they used to tell me that, your husband, when you talk to him about this, he keeps quiet. He doesn't say anything, he just ignores us. So we don't even know what to do. So I was now like left alone,
Nowhere to turn to.
No, yes. I remember I got to a point where I was like losing it, I even left my job because I just couldn't concentrate. I was just so depressed. Yeah, it really was tough.
Wow, you're such a strong and powerful woman to have just endured all of that. And to be here today, standing and well, and written a wonderful book, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Wow, you're totally amazing. Now, have you been able to connect with other women who have the same condition now?
Yes, I did. What happened was, on Facebook, I met this other lady, and then, they were talking about infertility and all those issues. And then, so I started like going through their stories and stuff. And then I started connecting with them, and then, that's when on Instagram as well. And then I met these ladies and stuff. And that now it helped me a lot because I could feel, I realized that I'm not alone in this. Exactly. I'm not alone in this journey, and I shouldn't let anything that I cannot change control me and all that. And then it's like, talking to someone who is going through that same thing it really helps a lot.
Yes, that must have been such a relief for you to find other people and say, okay, there are other people like me with the same condition, and it must have been really great for you to connect with them.
Yes, because with the husband, we then like separated, we got divorced, and then it was really tough. Yes, but I remember the day I left him, I had enough. I couldn't eat. I was depressed. I could cry myself to sleep. And it really was hard. I didn't have anyone to turn to. So I just thought that, what, enough is enough. I'm going to leave. I think from now on, I know I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. That's what I told myself.
What gave you the strength? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I just prayed about it.
Because I wonder, that must have taken so much courage to get up and leave.
Yes, because there was a time that he left me without telling me where he was going. And when I tried to look for him, his friends, his friends' wives, they told me that, he said he had had enough. He doesn't know what to do. So now the only solution that he has is to leave me, So he left, and it was, he went for days. and I didn't even know where he was. So you can imagine the depression.
Yeah.
It was really tough. It really was tough. So in a way, I was like, blaming myself for all that. That okay, maybe it's because I have this problem, so can't give him kids. That's why he's doing that. And I could hear some, stories, women talking out there. There was this other lady who even who even told my sister's friend that he approached her and told her that, can you please give me a child, Wow. So, yeah, it really was tough. So I just thought, maybe leaving him was the best decision I could make. And then I just told myself, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. I'm not going to get married again, because still, even if I get married, then I'm still going to go through what I went through with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
The society and culture doesn't really help at all.
It doesn't.
There's so much emphasis on procreation, as if the only purpose of a woman is to have children.
Yes, and the other thing, I made enemies as well. When you go to the traditional healer, they always have something to say.
Oh, yeah.
And funny enough, it adds up, right?
I know, weirdly, right? You start to believe it somehow, even though it's all a lie.
Yes, it really was like adding up. You have been bewitched by your grandmother, she took your pants and did this and that, and she's got your womb inside a bottle, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to, I remember I confronted my grandmother the other time, and I felt bad afterwards, after I discovered that this is a condition.
Yeah.
I was born like this. I had to, it was, unfortunately, I couldn't apologize because she passed on before I did.
Oh no! Wow.
And really, I really felt bad about it. I really felt bad about it. That's
the thing about this spiritual healers. I don't think they realize the impact of what they do when they start making all these false claims and damaging relationships that might never get to be put together again. It's just,
unfortunately, they don't.
Well, may her soul rest in peace. So sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Now, knowing what you know now, and I mean, let's talk about your book. Actually, what led you to writing your book? Congratulations on the release of the book. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Amazing that from your journey, you have now written this book to help other people. And of course, the name of your book is "I Am Still a Woman." I love the name. I'm also a woman. Yes. Yes. I really love the name. It's excellent. So I mean, the name obviously sends a powerful message to people in societies, that tie women's existence to and purpose only to motherhood, right? So well done on that. And of course, I read your book a couple of days ago, and I totally loved every line of that book. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I strongly believe everyone should buy that book and read it, because we need to hear your story. And also, importantly, we need to learn the importance of being kind to people, because I think sometimes people just forget the basic kindness, right?
Yes, yes.
If we could just have that, a lot of things would be so much better.
True.
So what inspired you to write this book?
Okay. So when I, there was, like I said, I had given up on everything, this relationship thing and stuff. And then my aunt told me that, you know what, let's just give it a try, let's go to the doctors and stuff. And then that's when I started again going to the gynecologist. And then that's when I found out that the name of the condition is MRKH. Mm-hmm. So, I then had to, mingle with people with the same condition, and hearing their stories inspired me also to write the book. And then I remember there was this other day, I was coming from work. I was driving from work, and then on the radio, they had a gynecologist. And then two ladies called they called in, and then the first one was 34 years old, and then the other one was 36 years old, and then they were asking the gynecologist that we don't know what's happening because I haven't had my periods, Then I was like, oh, okay, so it means there are people, there are a lot of people out there with this condition, and they don't know what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, you know what? I think if I share my story, if I write a book, it's going to help a lot of people out there. And so I chose to share my story so that I could encourage them, the fellow women going the same situation as well. It really was something that I thought it was going to help. And also, I just had this feeling, like, I just want to talk to people, create an awareness. Infertility, it's people, they are treated somehow in the community, So I told a friend of mine, I'm like, you know what, I just need a platform where it can be me against a group of people talking about this infertility issues, talking about MRKH, because you with my age, I'm 40 by the way, and people will be asking me how come you don't have kids? Why don't you have kids? And then if I tell them that it's because of 1, 2, 3, they would be surprised. You don't have a womb. What's that? How is that possible? So I just thought, you know what? Let me come out of this closet and share my story. It's gonna help a lot of people out there. It's gonna encourage, there are people who are suffering in silence.
Yes.
Because I joined a group on WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp group.
Mm-hmm.
We call ourselves sisters. We have, we all have MRKH, so we share our stories. That's and amazing. Then so with some people, they don't want to share their stories. They tell you, you know what, there is no way I'm going to tell people about this condition. There is no way I'm going to tell people this is what's happening to me. I don't have a womb, not in a million years,
Yeah.
But
and that's fine.
That's fine. Yes, it's their choice,
Yes.
So with me, when I wrote it, it wasn't easy. Writing this book wasn't easy, even though it took me 2 months,
Really? Well, that was a really, really excellent book. I loved it. 2 months. Wow.
Yes.
I guess you were meant to be a writer then.
Yes, I think so. I think so too. Because when I was writing it, there were times when it took me back in time,
Those moments.
And those moments. And I used to, break down, tell myself, I thought I was stronger than this,
Oh, you are strong.
And then I could break down. And then I told my publisher that, you know what, I don't think I can go on with this. I can't. Then he told me, no, you are the strongest person I've ever met.
I agree.
Let's just, just continue. We are almost done, And I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore, because it took me back. And then I could stop maybe for a day or two, and then cry myself to sleep and all that. And then after maybe 2 days, I'm fine. Then I continue writing.
Yeah. And that was part of the healing. You're crying and, all of that is part of the healing. It's necessary, especially after going through all of that.
Yes, it was part of healing. Yeah. It really helped me a lot. I felt like a burden has been lifted off my shoulders.
Wow. Got the answers.
Maybe you are invited to go to a baby shower and all that stuff. Here you are there mingling with the others, and then looking at my age, they would ask me oh, so how many kids do you have? that question.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, yeah, I don't have kids, And then they want to know, like, why? Now you have to start explaining.
Yeah, people really need to stop asking questions. I mean, some of these questions are not appropriate at all. Yeah.
Exactly. If only they could stop asking such questions. Just wait for the person to tell you that, okay, I've got 2 kids or I've got 1 kid, and
like,
because
how many kids you have is not like, what's the weather like? It's not that kind of question. You can't just ask people that.
Exactly. Because you don't know what that person is going through. You now open wounds,
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what they are going through.
Yeah.
You don't know why they don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's
people
really
just assume
difficult.
that everybody has kids and everybody wants kids, and everyone is different. So I think you need to stop the assumption and those annoying questions.
Exactly.
Well, first off, I should acknowledge that you look amazing at 40. So yes, I need to note that. And why did you choose the name of that book, your book? Why did you choose that name?
A friend of mine came up with the name of the book. What happened was, after I told her that, hey, you know what, I just want to go out there, talk to the people, And then she said, why don't you write it? I mean, like, why you have to write a book? And I'm like, a book? Yeah, you are right. I can write a book, maybe pour my heart out, in that book. And then she was like, then I was like, but what am I going to name the book? I'm like, I couldn't think of a name, And then she said, I'm also a woman. And I'm like, wow, yes, I'm also a woman. Womb or no womb, I'm also a woman.
It's such a powerful name.
Yes, that's how the name came about.
Yes, and it's excellent for that topic, for that book. Well done. Since writing the book, have other women, maybe from Zimbabwe or South Africa or other African countries, have they contacted you since writing that book?
Yes, a lot of them, actually. That's wonderful. The other thing, before I started writing my book, I used to pour out my heart on my Facebook page, and then and also my WhatsApp status,
Okay.
I used to write a lot of things, about, this infertility issues, and all that stuff. So yeah, some people like started contacting me. I remember even my aunt was like, are you okay? Like there were these ones which sounded as if I was depressed, Then I told her, no, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, I just needed to get that out.
Yes, they're like, no, I'm fine. Don't worry, I'm okay. And then some people started coming into my inbox and then telling me that, you know what, we like what you write, it's something, it's motivating us and all that. And then I was like, yeah, now I'm thinking of writing a book, And then some of them even went to a point where they could tell me that, you know what, I don't have kids because of 1, 2, 3. I'm going through this. And I had to do some counseling,
Can you imagine?
Talk to them. Yes. After releasing the book, I remember I had to speak to like 5 ladies. I met them on Facebook, and then 2 of them were on the verge of committing suicide,
Oh, wow.
Yes, because of this. And one of them, she had a boyfriend, and then she didn't she didn't go for the operation. So what was happening now, the boyfriend couldn't do anything, and then now he started going out there, and then so she told me, no, now I'm tired, I don't know what to do and all that. Then I told her, no, you know what, the thing is, just go for that operation, or you can use the dilators and all that stuff. And then then she was like, no, I don't want my boyfriend to know that this is the the problem, you know, and I can't have kids, so I'm not gonna tell him all that. Then I said, hey, it's a bit tricky. It's up to you not to tell him, or you know, like, or you want to tell him at a later stage or whatever. But the thing is, it's still gonna, you know, it will depress you. It's gonna destroy you actually, because yes, because I mean, like, you are dying inside. You know where the problem lies.
Yeah.
So you just have to be open with him and tell him. Then she said, yeah, no, what if he leaves me? Then the next
that's always the fear.
Yes, so
the fear, right? Yeah.
Yes, so I realized they had a lot of, I mean, like, they had that fear. And then the other one was even telling me that, you know what, I even buy, you know, sanitary pads when I go out with the boyfriend to buy the groceries, and I don't even use them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really was. But we became very close friends.
That's amazing. Thank God you found them and met them at that time, especially when they were so depressed.
Yes, they are more like my sisters now. You know, we talk almost every day. When they feel depressed, you know, we talk, and you know, we support each other.
Yeah, that's the power of sharing, isn't it? Like, you open up about yourself, and then they were having their own feelings, but then because you were brave to share with them, they were able to also share with you what they were feeling.
Yes, yes.
That's why our stories are so important.
Yes. So, like, there were also ladies, I mean, women with kids, maybe just one child, and then they can't have another one, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, when they read the book, and you know, we spoke about it, and yeah, even like when the day of the launch, you know, I met friends. I had, like, I got to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talk. We are now friends. We are sisters. We, you know.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Yes, they even referred their friends to me who are like suffering. I mean, who we have got, I mean, different infertility cases, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've met a lot of friends after the book.
Wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful. How can people buy your book?
It's available on, I mean, the Nook online stores.
Okay.
It's Rakuten Kobo and the Nook as well.
Okay.
And in and around Africa, I courier the book as well.
That's perfect. And it's also available online for ebooks as well. People can find that. That's how I got mine. That's wonderful.
Yes.
But it'd be nice to have a hard copy for sure. So we'll definitely be contacting you about the hard copy. I think sometimes people want to have the book in their hands. There's something nice about having the paper book.
Hard copy, yes.
It's somehow, I don't know what it is, but you always want to have a hard copy. So we'll definitely be sharing those details so that people can reach out and buy your book.
All right, thank you.
And if there's anyone out there listening to you right now and wondering how to connect with you, how can they do that? How can they reach you?
They can follow me on my Facebook page. I've got a Facebook page. It's called I'm Also a Woman.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yes. And then on Instagram as well. I'm Zerie. Yes.
Perfect. And if you could go back to Zerie, when you were, I don't know, 16-year-old, what would you tell her?
I would tell you that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And you don't have to worry about things that you cannot change.
Yes.
You know, and I would tell you that, you know what, it's not up to you to decide how many kids you want to have. You know?
Yes, I tell myself that too. Yeah.
As you know, growing up, you tell yourself that, you know what, I want to have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Oh,
you know,
yes. Like... By 24, by 25, nice car, nice house. 2 girls, 2 boys, right?
Yes.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Let me ask you, actually, Zerie, what do you think needs to change in our cultures for the next girl to have a better experience the next girl that finds herself with MRKH, for people to be more supportive? What do you think needs to change?
I think, it's like, you just have to accept it. I mean, like you didn't choose that journey, right? So you have to accept it, and you have to try and speak to, people going through that same journey. When you share your stories, with the people who are going through that same journey, it really helps.
Yes, it does.
It really does help. I know in our African cultures, they tell you that you have been bewitched and all that. I wouldn't advise them to believe that, because, you end up creating enemies. You end up having enemies, and then you end up doing things that might make you get sick. You can imagine, like in my case, whereby I had to like drink a lot of different things,
like combination of things.
Yes, and also insert stuff,
those things. You don't even know if they've been sterilized or
yes, definitely. So I wouldn't advise them to go that route, and it's, people must learn to stop asking each other. It really happens woman to woman. They love asking that questions. Why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids? It open up wounds.
Yes. You almost want to turn back and say, why do you care? Like, what does it matter to you?
Yes.
Like at the end of the day, it really doesn't concern you.
Exactly. So and womb or no womb, you are also a woman. Infertility, it doesn't make you less of a woman.
Yes.
And you must, and everything in life happens for a reason. Maybe God wants you as a daughter, not a mother. And also the other thing, you were fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
You are a mother in a way.
You are mothering so many women, so many daughters, so many girls.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
I love it. And your book will do an excellent job in helping us change. By the time we all read it, we'll learn to be nicer and be better, and to stop asking questions that don't concern us.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Zerie, would you like to share any words of affirmation, something you've always found helpful that you've held on to all these years?
I've always kept my faith. I've always believed that everything happens for a reason. No matter what you go through in life, don't let something that you cannot change control you,
Yeah.
And when you meet a person, they always have something they think about. When they look at you, they always think about something. So you get to meet people that will ask you these questions, and triggers will always be there. So I just told myself, you know what, I'm not gonna let that get to me. Yes.
And you've done an excellent job at that. By
Yes.
standing strong, being who you are today.
Yes. And writing this book really helped me.
Yes. I'm sure it was some kind of therapy for you as well. Like you mentioned, you were having times when you were so sad, remembering how it happened, because your book, your writing was so well done. It seemed like I was there watching everything happen, the way you wrote it.
Yes. Yes. I shared my story. I can safely say I shared my story from a place of healing,
Yes.
Not a place of pain. So it really helped me a lot.
That's
it really helped me a lot. Yes. And to those who don't want to share their story, I mean, it's still okay, you know.
Yes.
That's how they feel. And I think in due course, eventually, they will share their stories when the time is right.
Yes.
Because you can imagine with me, I decided to share my story when I was like 40 years old.
Yes.
Yes.
But it is the right time.
It is the right time, yes. It is the right time.
It's the right time.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Zerie. It's been amazing having you here on the show. You're so inspirational, such a powerful woman. So strong to have gone through all of this and to be here standing strong. You're just amazing. You're definitely someone we should all look up to and aspire to be like you. Thank you so much for writing the book, for giving us something to be able to read in our cultures in Africa and other parts of the world, to have an understanding of what MRKH is, to have an understanding of what it feels like for the people dealing with it, especially when you live in a society with people not understanding it. So thank you for sharing that, because I think it's very important when people read it. Sometimes looking at it and reading it helps us to change, to be better, to unlearn ways that are not right, and to embrace the new things that we need to learn. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine.
Yes, it's been amazing having you on here. So everyone listening, go buy Zerie's book. It's a lovely, lovely book. I'm also a woman. Womb or not, I am also a woman. I love it. Such a powerful title. Well done, Zerie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on the show today, and I look forward to having you again in the near future. Thank
you. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Fertility Conversations podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Fertility Conversations. If there are any topics you would like to have discussed, please send an email to fertilityconversations@gmail.com. Be sure to tune in next week for our next episode. Thank you again for listening. Take care of yourself and do stay hopeful.